All right, let's go. Open and skit time. Are you ready?
Nope, not today.
Freaking, excuse me, dude?
Yeah, dude, I think I'm on strike.
Dude, strike. You don't even have a freaking union.
Yeah, well, I've formed one, and it's just me, but we're pretty organized.
Dude, it's not funny. We have to do the opening skit. It's tradition.
No one even likes it, dude. People are probably skipping
Bro,
this
that's
part
probably
right now.
the only part that some people even listen to. Now get over here.
I'm good.
Oh my god. Dude, it takes like 5 seconds, man.
And
Come
I could
on.
use those 5 seconds to Google something like, I don't know, is Idaho secretly Canada?
Dude.
No.
Dude.
No.
Dude.
No.
Dude.
Nope.
Dude.
No.
Dude.
Yep. Not today.
Oh my god, forget it. I'm just going to do it myself. Welcome to the W.I.T.S show, where smart meets stupid and somehow makes sense. I'm Georgie, and I'm thinking out loud so you don't have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the W.I.T.S show. From what I think seriously to you.
W.I.T.S, the W.I.T.S show.
Cool story, bro.
Welcome back. Today, we're exploring a world without electricity. The Great Global Blackout. Not some sci-fi fantasy, but a real possibility thanks to EMPs, solar flares, or even cyber attacks. Or you forgot to pay your friggin' internet bill. Make you so mad you could punch a machine and get fired for it. Anyway, picture this. You're scrolling through your phone, probably liking some videos of a raccoon stealing a sandwich, and suddenly, it freezes. The lights flicker, and then, nothing. No hum of the fridge, no street lights, no cars passing by, just silence. And you think, maybe the power will come back on in a second. But then you realize your watch isn't ticking, your car won't start, and now your neighbor's Alexa is just an expensive paperweight. Congratulations, you just experienced a global EMP blackout. So what exactly is this invisible power-snatching demon? EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse. Basically a giant invisible wave of energy that fries electronics like bacon in a pan. Bacon. And these can come from 3 places. One of them being a massive solar flare from the sun. Think Mother Nature throwing a cosmic temper tantrum. Think of it like this, right? So you wake up and you check your phone. You see this headline that says, "Big solar flare headed to Earth." Scientists say, it's fine. So you sip your coffee and you think, cool, free Northern Lights show. And you go on with your day. You're completely unaware that in less than 24 hours, you're going to be living in the 1800s, but without the charming little bonnets. And of course, NASA spots it first. A giant solar burp, technically called an X-class solar flare. And it just blasted off the sun. Behind it, a coronal mass ejection. Sounds cute, right? Yeah, no. This thing is basically the sun throwing a billion-ton plasma snowball at 1,000,000 miles an hour directly at Earth. ETA, 17 hours. You'd think they'd send us an Amber Alert for that. Nope, just a press release that no one reads. So a couple hours later, the media is like, don't panic, folks, just expect some GPS issues and maybe see some pretty lights. Meanwhile, power companies are sweating so hard that their coffee mugs are slipping. Airline qualities start avoiding the poles because, well, frying poles is bad PR. Anyway, hour 17 comes in and boom! The sun's temper tantrum slams into Earth's magnetic field. Satellites start glitching like a bad Zoom call. GPS, off by miles. And now your Uber Eats driver thinks that you live in the middle of the ocean. Phones drop service, and the auroras, they're here. Dancing over New York, Los Angeles, even freaking Mexico. Instagram influencers are thrilled. Well, for at least the next 10 minutes. So about 20 minutes goes by, and then Quebec goes dark. The whole province. Poof! Transformers blow like popcorn. Lights are flickering in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. Control centers are scrambling, pulling plugs before the sun does it for them. I sure hope you weren't on an elevator. Couple more hours go by, and there it is, the domino effect. Power grids start tripping offline all over the northern hemisphere. ATMs, dead. Netflix, gone. Water treatment plants, stop. And yes, that means your tap water is going to taste like sadness. Mine actually already does, so we just drink filtered water. So about 6 more hours goes by and, well, the internet goes down, which is how you know things are bad. That's because humans start looking up, making eye contact again. GPS timings fail, banks can't process transactions, so your debit card is basically a shiny piece of plastic. Hospitals start rationing generator fuel, hand-pumping ventilators. Doctors are out here playing MacGyver with life support. So fast forward to day 2. Now we're hitting panic mode. Food's spoiling, gas stations are useless, no news, just rumors, and your neighbor saying, I heard Florida sank into the ocean. Which, to be fair, wouldn't even be the weirdest part of the week. But let's skip to day 5. Welcome to the 1850s. Cities are dark, except for candles, which, fun fact, they're way more romantic when you choose them. Barter economy kicks in. People are trading canned beans for toilet paper. Somewhere, a guy is paying rent with a goat. But let's kick it off to day 30. Now this is the new normal. A few regions got power back, and others are stuck in blackout purgatory. See, transformers take months to rebuild. The sun? Oh, it's just chilling again. Pretending it didn't just throat punch an entire planet. And you learned how to churn butter and fight over bottled water at Walmart. And that, my friends, is what happens when your big fiery space dad decides to sneeze in our direction. Now, the second one is nuclear weapons detonating high above the Earth. You know, humans being humans. It's more than possible, and our government has been complicit in nuclear warfare before. Okay, so imagine you're outside sipping your coffee when the sky suddenly flashes brighter than anything you've ever seen. No boom, no shockwave, just light. You think, wow, must be some crazy lightning. Nope, that was a nuclear weapon exploding way up in space, and your phone just died faster than your New Year's revolution. So let's picture it. A nuke just went off about 250 miles above Earth. Gamma rays slam into Earth's atmosphere, ripping electrons loose and triggering a massive electromagnetic pulse. You didn't see the radiation, you didn't hear it, but every unprotected microchip in sight, toast. That includes your phone, your laptop, and yes, your air fryer. The first pulse, E1, hits in less than a billionth of a second. It's like the universe's meanest static shock, and it fries electronics instantly. And the newer your gadget, the deader it is. Cars with computers, stalled. Traffic lights, out. Your fridge, now just a fancy warm box of spoiled leftovers. Next comes the E2 pulse, slower, like lightning, which would be bad news, except joke's on us, because the E1 already fried all of our surge protectors. So yeah, more damage. So now we're about 90 seconds in and the E3 pulse rolls in. The slowest, but also the meanest of them. It messes with Earth's magnetic field, sending monster-sized electrical currents through the power grid. So transformers, those big metal boxes that keep your lights on, they start to overheat, melt, and die. And these aren't quick fixes. We're talking months, maybe years before they're replaced. So now we're about 5 minutes in. Here comes the digital blackout. The internet is gone, your cell phone service is gone, GPS is gone, and if you were in the middle of binge watching a TV show, congratulations, you're never going to know how the show ends. Glitch. So now we're into panic mode, right? That sets in about 6 hours. Why, do you ask? Well, it's simple. Gas stations can't pump fuel, grocery stores can't run registers, water treatment plants can't stop. Without refrigeration, food starts to spoil. Hospitals burn through generator fuel like crazy, and then life support machines go quiet. And it's pretty evident what happens next. But let's fast forward to day 2. Back to the basics. Cash becomes useless once no one can make change. The barter system returns, and now a jar of peanut butter is worth more than a diamond ring. At this point, people start to dust off old radios that actually have knobs on them. And if you own an old working 1970s pickup, well, you're basically king now. So about a month in, the new reality kicks in. Some areas start restoring tiny bits of power with small, unharmed generators. Most are still in the dark, and that one flash in the sky, well, it changed everything. No craters, no blast wave, just one silent pop, and goodbye modern world. So yeah, a high-altitude nuclear EMP, it's like the sun's big solar flare cousin, but meaner, faster, and made by people instead of space. And now we have the third scenario, some mysterious deep space event we didn't see coming, which is the most fun option if you're into conspiracies like myself. Imagine this, right? So it starts with nothing. No flash, no warning, no weird lights in the sky, just silence. 1 minute you're watching Netflix, the next you're staring at a frozen screen while your phone dies in your hand. Congratulations! You've just went through the moment the universe hit the Earth's off switch. We'll call it the glitch. Somewhere far beyond Pluto, maybe a neutron star flaring, maybe an alien science experiment gone wrong, a burst of energy that leaves the cosmic neighborhood and starts racing towards us. We don't detect it, no one sees it. The burst slams into Earth's magnetosphere, dumping more energy in one instant than we've ever measured. Every transformer, every unshielded circuit, every delicate wire in the sky or underground, completely gone. So in about 10 seconds in, we got complete darkness. Lights go out in New York, same second Paris, same second Tokyo. The blackout is total. No time zone is spared. Power plants trip offline instantly, satellites fail mid-orbit, and data centers blink out before they can even send a warning. About a minute in brings in complete silence. No internet, no cell towers, no emergency broadcasts. And if you were on a phone call, you hear nothing but dead air at this point. If you were listening to music, it just stops. And it's in that silence, in those first few minutes, that people realize something is really wrong. In the first hour, we hit confusion. Airplanes without functioning navigation drift off course. Ships lose all contact with land. Cars stall and die on the highway. And then the auroras show up. Faint at first, but then they start spreading worldwide. But these aren't the greens and red of a normal storm. These are deep blues, ghostly purples, swirling with static like the sky is made out of TV snow. At about 12 hours in, the chaos starts. Food trucks and warehouses start losing their refrigeration. Gas stations shut down, hospitals run on backup power, for now. But without communications, no one knows the scope of what's happened. Every flashlight, every battery starts to feel like gold. So now at about day 3, we start to hit the global panic. No news from anywhere. Planes are grounded, governments are silent, or just as powerless as everyone else. The night sky is darker than anyone's seen in living memory, except for those strange, shifting auroras that still haven't gone away. Then we hit about day 7, roughly a week in, the new rules. Cities without power start emptying as people search for food and clean water. And of course, like always, barter replaces money. Communications fortify themselves, unsure if the danger came from space or from something worse. And those auroras? Yep, they're still there. And sometimes, swear to God, people say they can hear a low hum when they're directly underneath them. But let's fast forward to day 30, roughly a month in. The unknown. No recovery, no explanation, just the knowledge that something out there, something we didn't see coming, had the power to pull the plug on the entire planet in a heartbeat. And it might still be watching. And that's the thing about space. We think we're watching it, but maybe it's watching us back. We think we're experts in everything, better than everyone else. Might as well call us John. Loud, wrong, standing there with zero skills and the confidence of a sugared-up 4-year-old with a temper tantrum problem. Hoo-wee! Slap a pink button-up Ariat shirt on me and call me the boss. Shut up, Stinky Pete. Nobody even takes you seriously. But shouldn't we be prepared? After all, haven't we seen these signs before? Historically, yeah, we have. We've had warnings. The Carrington event in 1859, a solar storm that was so strong that made telegraph systems catch fire. Then, in 1962, the U.S. tested a nuke in space, and poof. Streetlights in Hawaii went out like it was Earth Hour. And, in 1989, a smaller solar storm knocked out power in Quebec for 9 hours. Now imagine that, but global and lasting months or even years. So the short answer is no, we're not ready. But we think we are. We've got backup generators for about 3 days. We've got food in stores for about 72 hours. And we've got people who panic when the Wi-Fi drops for 30 seconds. So imagine what happens when it's everything. Power grids are fragile. Transformers, they're built to order and take months to replace. And banking? Yeah, forget your debit card. We're going back to the barter system. So I hope you like trading toilet paper for gasoline. But what happens when the lights go out for good? Well, it's simple, to explain anyway. First, the power grid dies. Transformers, the big expensive ones, they get fried. They take months to replace, and here's the fun part. They're custom built overseas, so yeah, don't expect a quick delivery from Amazon on those bad boys. Now here's where it gets scary, in my opinion. Without power, nuclear plants lose their cooling systems. Now they got backup generators, but only for a while. And when those run out of fuel, you've got meltdowns. Multiple meltdowns. Which means, while you're worrying about charging your phone, you might also have to worry about glowing in the dark. I've been talking about this for years, especially when I get into discussions with friends about the zombie apocalypse. They think it'd be so cool to have one, but actually, it would kind of suck. But that's how TV is. They make things seem so much cooler. But in reality, in about 2 weeks, you'd hate it. If no one's there to prevent a nuclear meltdown, then you'd have explosions everywhere, causing like nuclear winter or radiation poisoning. Forget about clean water anywhere, you're literally just screwed. Oh, in hospitals, same story. Ventilators, dialysis machines, surgical equipment, all down. People on life support would have hours, maybe days. Insulin, certain antibiotics, blood, all the things that you need refrigerated. When that's gone, so is your safety net. And let's forget about banking. No ATMs, no credit cards, no online anything. So if you don't have actual cash, congrats, you're broke. But then again, even if you do have cash, good luck finding someone who wants it when water and canned beans are the new Bitcoin. Oh, and speaking of water, municipal pumps are electric. Within 24 hours, most cities are dry, and without water, sanitation collapses. Give it a week, and the phrase social distancing will have a whole nother meaning. Here's where things get spicy. Grocery shelves, empty in 72 hours. Police, overwhelmed in days. Cities, not a great place to be when the lights never come back on. And rural folks, they might fare better if they've got walls, gardens, livestock. But even they will run into the same problems eventually. And then humans get desperate. And desperation makes people, well, creative. You'll see barter economies pop up, skills, food, clean water. Yeah, that's the new currency. Your neighbor who laughed at you for learning how to can pineapple cowboy candy will suddenly want to be your best friend. But you'll remember that one time they called the cops on you because you threw a chair at the wall. Maybe you'll give them a jar, though. Maybe. But here's the million-dollar question. Does humanity rebuild? Or does it collapse all into chaos? Some optimists say that this would bring us all closer together. I say these people have never been elbowed in the face over the last 50-inch TV at a Black Friday sale. But maybe, just maybe, without tech, we'd slow down, learn skills, talk to our neighbors again, grow our own food. It's possible. But history tells us we're not exactly graceful in crisis. So, I'll let you be the judge. Just make sure you leave some toilet paper for everyone else. We all gotta wipe our asses too. But I want to hear it from you. What's the weirdest thing that you would do if the power went out forever? Would you learn how to start a fire? Become a professional flashlight signaler? Finally leave the basement and play Minecraft in real life? Hit me up with your stories, your survival hack, or just pop into my comments section and tell me what you would do in the first 72 hours. Speaking of my comments section, just as I promised, I've got a short story that rolled in from a trucker friend of mine. He's a great dude. He makes some funny content on TikTok. Goes by the name Captain Totem. If you ever want to follow a funny truck driver, definitely go and check him out. This dude is hilarious. So the story that he sent in is the kind of story that makes you want to check your mirrors twice. Maybe 3 times. He was grinding his way up the Sherman Pass outside Laramie, Wyoming. If you've ever driven it, you know it's steep, winding, and at dusk it turns into something else entirely. The shadows start to crawl across the road, and it can be a creepy place. Definitely abnormal from the normal reality. He's on the phone with his buddy, chatting away. When he comes around the 3rd, maybe the 4th curve, his mind freezes. Standing dead ahead on the white line was something that shouldn't exist. Its head, like a deer, antlers jutting into the fading light. Its neck, too long. Not giraffe long, but stretched, unnatural, like something pulled it out and forgot to put it back right. The body was thick, like a moose or an elk, but the legs? Thin and spindly, like a giraffe on stilts. And the eyes? Burning yellow, locking eyes with his at eye level. Now he's in a Kenworth, W900L. Those things are like 13 and a half feet tall, making eye level for you and me roughly at about 8 or 9 feet. He screams out, "Oh shit!" swerving just enough to avoid it. And his buddy, well, he's on the phone yelling, "What happened? You okay?" But here's the kicker. About 30 yards away, a small group of recognizable deer are frozen, ears forward and eyes locked on this thing. They're not moving, not eating, just watching. Because they know it's not one of them. It's not one of us. It's completely unnatural. So what was it? A skinwalker? Something else? Something watching? All I know is if you're out on Sherman Pass after dark, you better hope it's not looking for you. The creep factor on this one's definitely a 10 out of 10. And that's the best part. I bet truck drivers all over the United States have crazy stories just like this one. But anyway, that's it for today's dive into the deep in the dark. Literally, remember, the lights may go out, but the witch show will keep shining. Or at least fumble around in the dark making noises. I'm Georgie, your guide through the smart, the stupid, and everything in between. And I'll catch you next week. Stay curious, stay weird, and maybe keep a flashlight handy. You never know when you might need it to see in the dark, be it blackouts or skinwalkers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Witch Show from What I Think Seriously to You.
W.I.T.S. The Witch Show.
Cool story, bro.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the W.I.T.S show. If you like this story and you want more weird, creepy, and downright mind-bending stuff, make sure to follow for more. And hey, drop a like and leave your most crazy story in the comments. If it's spooky enough, I just might feature it in my next episode.